back. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? The internet is working. Yay! Y'all. So Jackson and I, Jackson has homework. Mom, thank you, baby. Mom is and take your dog. Mom and Jackson and I I'm working. Jackson's trying to do homework, and a friend of mine is coming over so I can help her do some stuff she needs done on the internet, and we have no internet. None. Zero, the end. Zilch, no internet, all the things. And we shut the router off. We turn it back on. We reboot it. We unplug it 16 times. Probably a little excessive. Let me not lie. About 5 times. Nothing. My cell phone's still working, though, because, of course, I have, my data plan or whatever the case is. And we cannot figure out what's going on with the internet. So I'm like, you know what? I still had to do my 40 days of love last night. So I was like, I'll just do it on my phone. I already went on and, said, hey, y'all, I'm not going to be on Facebook, but I'm going to be on YouTube. Just come join me over there. Did all that. This morning got up and unplugged it again, replugged it back. Trying to figure out if magically overnight, all was well and it got fixed, because normally when there's a outage in your area, you get an email. Didn't get an email. I almost messaged my neighbor to see if they still had internet. And I was like, you know what? I'll just call in the morning. No internet. So I get to work. I do one of my classes. Then I have a little bit of a break. So I call and they're like, oh, okay, well, we see you tried to reboot it. I said, yeah, I did this morning. They're like, well, are you able to be at home right now so we can send the signal to the router? I am not. I am at work. Somebody got to pay these bills. So anyway, she's like, oh, okay. Well, we think we see what the problem is. You have the modem and that is included in your package, but you don't have the router. Or do you have your own router? I said, ma'am, I have whatever they brought when they came to switch it out from the last time it was a problem. Oh, well, we see that the router was not added to your account. So if we add the router to your account, it's going to cost $7 a month. Now, y'all, I've had the same router in my house for 4 years. 4 years. And she proceeds to say again, well, the router is not on your account. So they assume that it is lost or it is no longer in service. So they just cut the feed. I said, okay, well, can I get an appointment? Yes, because we see that the router is not on your account. Like if she didn't say that 10 times, and here's what I'm trying to understand. Somebody got to make it make sense, because it don't make sense to me, but y'all might understand people. Hey, y'all. She was like, hey, Kim. She was like, we're doing well. We're very good, little lady. Thank you. I love that name. It's very, very fabulous. Well, we don't know why the technician didn't add it to your account. Can I just ask you this, ma'am? Can you tell me how I was supposed to get a router off his truck, install it, do all the things, and then keep it a secret that it wasn't on the account? Like, I don't know how that happened. Because the man who came in here and changed out the modem and the router, because the one we had was so old, he was like, ooh, we don't even use this one anymore because we don't cause no problems at our house. We straight like that. And then when the technician came, of course, I scheduled it for 4 because I knew I would be home at 4. He comes, I get a text message at 3:01. Your person is on the way to your house. I'm like, sir, I don't get home. I said 4 for a reason. There was a reason that I gave you 4 o'clock. Anyway, I called the number back. He's like, oh, well, I went by your house, saw nobody was home, so I'm going to take my lunch break, and I'm going to come back about 4:25. So my time was between 4 and 5. Perfect. No problem. Hey, y'all, I'm so glad you like to watch. Thank you for doing so. If y'all wouldn't mind, just go ahead and like the video, do all the things. It just helps us get out into the algorithm. I'm jumping into this budget, but I got to tell somebody this because this is about my spirit. So the man comes in. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, we see that the router is not on your account. And I know in the 15 minutes he was here, he probably said it 15 more times than the lady who said it on the phone. Okay, I get it. that the router is not on the account. So then he has to call technical support so they can add the router and know that I'm giving them permission to add it. Ma'am, I need the internet. I never in the first place asked the gentleman not to put it on the account. I don't know why he didn't do it or did do it or whatever the case is. But can we not mention it one more time? Like I'm the person who didn't put the router on the account. I don't even understand. Anywho, we're back. Internet's back. Praise the Lord. We got a new router number and new password and all the things. So everybody's phone got to be reset. Perfection. Okay. Ooh. Excuse me, y'all. So we're budgeting, right? We've got to get these budgets done. And I guess one of the reasons too that I shared this is because it's going to push my internet bill up by $7 every single month. And they had already increased it by $5. So that's going to give me a $12 boost in the last, I don't know how many months, because it was $75.99. Then it went to $79.99. No, it was $79.99. Well, it was at 75. Then it went to 79. Then it went to 84. Oven's ready. Oven's ready. And now they're adding another $7, but I have to have the internet. And I don't even have cable. I just have the internet. It's like you got my electric bill this month, y'all. We're not even going to talk about it because the Lord was not pleased. God was not pleased, but it has been cold here. We have had several cold snaps. I'll understand. But I do know that God is not pleased. But that doesn't matter. Here's the thing, right? Whatever comes your way, whatever you have to deal with, if you're a good manager of money, then you're going to be able to take care of all the things. Now, we're going to jump into our February zero-based budget. First of all, if you budget, please drop that in the chat. Let me know you budget. Or if you don't budget, why not? What's the hang up? What's one of the... And I do know that I can do that. It wasn't on the list of things that I could do today. Right? See what I'm saying? I was trying to get that situation handled today because I needed to be on here to do my stuff. And so by the time I was able to get home from work and do all of that, this was the easiest situation right now moving forward. And I got to budget my stuff. I'm just like, really? You got to, child, listen. Well, hey, Miss Katrina, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you stay a while and stick around. It's all good. So if you're a good manager of money, you're going to be able to make allowances and adjustments for all the things. So, Tanika, it is not, I don't want to say it's not hard, because for some people, their learning curve is a little bit different. It took me a while to get it down how I need to get it done. But at this point, I can gladly say that I've been budgeting. Jackson is 14. I've been budgeting 13 years. And my kids and I do well. We owe no debt. So if you're new around here, my name's Shakima. Hey, y'all. I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, 2 girls, Alana and Shamika, 2 boys, Trandon and Jackson. Shamika lives in California. She's 33. Trandon lives in Texas. He is 27. Alana just turned 20. She still lives at home, though. And Jackson is 14. He will be 15 on his birthday. And my birthday is next week. And I will be 48 and still fabulous. Praise the Lord. But anywho, my children and I have been debt-free for several years now. We worked hard to get ourselves on a good level playing field, and it has worked out for us. So this $7, while I did not want to spend it, it's not going to hurt me for right now. I know it's tragedy. It's tragedy. Because I've been in the kitchen, I've cooked the meal, I went to the store, I did all the things, and I didn't yawn one time. It's only when I get on this, it's only when I set up my computer. And typically I film these and I can edit out the yawns, but I don't have time for filming. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate. If you follow me on Amazon, I've never done this before, but I'm doing it and I'm saying it. I do have a birthday wish list on Amazon. If you follow my Amazon store, I think you can see it. I just jumped 4, 2 to 5 heart. It can be a challenge, but if you give it time and consistency, you'll get a pattern that works out for you. The one thing that I promise you is not going to work is just flying by the seat of your pants. Those days are over. Not that they were ever here, but you have to have a plan for your finances. We follow the zero-based budgeting. We follow the zero-based budgeting system, which means we budget for every dollar, dime, nickel, quarter, penny that comes into our home, and we give our money a job. So if you're following the system I follow, every single dime you earn comes in, somebody sends you, gives you, bless you, whatever, has a job, right? And it is supposed to go out and do that job and that job only. Now, we use a digital budgeting sheet, and then I also have pen and paper. Bev just chimed in. It takes time, consistency over perfection. Absolutely. Just stay consistent with it. For a long time, I budgeted, but I did not see the bigger picture. And so I was just, the minimums, barely getting by. When I got my life together and was like, you know what, this is not going to be my testimony forever. I'm not going to always owe nobody. I'm going to have money. I'm going to be able to take my kids to this place, and they're going to be able to go on this field trip or whatever the case may be. We really got out of this place. And Lisa Malone just posted, I always like to tell people, if you don't tell your money where it to go, it's going to tell you where it has to go. And it's going to cost you interest to do so, right? I'm not going to pay interest for any reason. I'm just not going to do it. Unless, within my ability, in my power. There are times, because I don't want anybody to feel judged by me, there are times when you have to have, you may have to put something on credit, put something on a credit card, whatever the case is. But when that time is over, like, don't stay in that habit. Don't stay in that pattern, because I don't want to have to pay somebody else interest to use their money. I'd rather just pay myself. If you need to pay somebody interest, pay yourself and feel better about it. Okay. We're jumping into February. We're already the second month in of the year. Now, for those of you who are new around here, I am a 10-month employee. I work for 10 months out of the year, which means I'm unemployed for 2. I start in August and I work until May. That's 10 months. Usually we work like the first week of June, but we don't get paid in June because, whatever money we make in June, they pay us that in August so that we can have a full paycheck in August. So in June, I think I'm just working in the hole for those couple of days. It's just days. It's like the first week. But then in June and July, I don't get a paycheck. So I have to then additionally budget for those non-paycheck months. And so the Lord has given me a divine and supernatural strategy on how to feed my kids during the months that I do not work. Not only that, but he's also given me a divine strategy on how to make sure that I am making my money meet my month. I never have more month than money. Why is that, Shakima? Because you have all the money? It's not. It's just because I've given every dollar a job and my money goes out and it works for me. Then I work a second job, which is YouTube. You're watching me work this right now. That brings in some income for my family. I do some other social media platforms. That brings in money for my family. Now, I will say this, because it is getting different out here in these streets. Social media, when I was doing extremely well, was very different. Now they have figured out these algorithm and things. People aren't making what they were making. It's like every 1,000 plays you get on a reel, you make a dime. For every 1,000 plays, you make 10 cents. Before, it used to be so much different than that. And now it's the same even on the Facebook platform. I do not get paid on Instagram or TikTok. I don't even know how you do it on TikTok, but I've tried my best and I work what I can work, but I keep my expenses low. And now that I have a YouTube income that is consistent and I don't have debt, I'm able to take some business expenses off of my plate, out of my personal paycheck, and I'm able to pay that with my YouTube funds, because now I don't have to count on the YouTube funds to help me pay my bills, because I'm out of debt and I don't have anything except base expenses, just utilities, water, internet. My mortgage is ahead, but we just found out yesterday that our property taxes are going up like 43% where I live. Um, Tax value of the homes are increased. My home is doubled its value in 7 years. So if I were to sell my home right now, which we need, there's not a lot of homes for sale here, I would make my money back. I would be able to pay off my loan and have enough at least to go in with a spouse for our home together. I just keep living here to build up equity in my home so that when I do sell, I'm bringing value to the marriage in the form of funds to fund a together home, because this house is not big enough for another person. My closet can't fit anybody else's clothes in here. This was just meant for me and my kids at the time. But moving forward, as the Lord would bless me to have a husband, my goal and desire and dream is that he would sell his, I would sell mine, and we would have something together. We pray. Okay. So now moving into the budget, I'm going to share my budget sheet with you. I digitally budget. It helps me out. I've been doing this now for the last 5-6 years very consistently. And this is my go-to preferred method of budgeting. Some people like to write it down, whatever you want to do. See, I think the problem is when people get married to the method, right? I'm married to the principle of budgeting, not how I do it. I can budget on paper. I can budget on the computer. I can budget. The point is the budget. So don't get caught up. You don't have to have all the fancy envelopes. You don't have to have all the fancy notebooks. You don't have to have all the fancy color-coded, all this stuff. Get you a pen and paper. Write it down in a notebook that you can get from Walmart for 97 cents, if that's what helps you and your family. Okay, I'm going to share my sheet with you all so that you're able to see what I see when I'm budgeting. Okay, so this is the budget sheet. This is the MYMT personal spending worksheet. This I found on Google. I did a Google search years ago. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. This is not my sheet. I do not own the rights to it. It was a free download. When I hit the link, the URL, it automatically downloaded into my downloads file. I was able to open it. At the time, I had Microsoft Excel. Right now, I do not even have Excel, but I do have access to Google Sheets. If you have a Google account, you have access to all of the G Suite, or most of the G Suite, which Google Sheets are included, which works just like Excel. Google Docs works just like Microsoft Word. Google Forms acts just like Microsoft Database. Slides act like PowerPoint. So because I have a Gmail, I have access to this, and this sheet works for me. So on this very first README page, it just tells you about the sheet and how to work it. On this next tab is the budget sheet itself. And then you have 5 weeks of tabs where you can put in funds or put in where you paid the bills. Now, my daughter Shamika uses this sheet, and she does not use the additional tabs at the bottom. She just uses this sheet. Alana uses this sheet as well, and she uses her tabs, and Mom uses tabs. Now, we try to get the boys involved. They do not want to be involved with us, so we just going to let them live their best life and do what they doing, and we're going to keep being great over here. Now, I go ahead and put in all of my weeks. So the first week of February actually tacked on to the end of January, which is January 28th, which is a Sunday. It goes to February the 3rd, which is a Saturday. And then I just went ahead and put in my dates so I would know which week I was spending money. I'm a once a month paid employee. I get paid the very last working day of the month. That's my payday, is the very last working day of the month. So I have to make my money stretch out over the full complete month. And most people would be like, oh man, I just spent all my money. I have to budget out weekly. Even though I get paid once a month, I still budget out for the week. That's why you see me doing my envelopes. You'll see me having envelopes, and these envelopes come from an Etsy shop called Conversation. I did not purchase these. These were gifted to me specifically for me, and I appreciated it. When I did not have envelopes of my own, I went to the $1.25 tree and I just bought these little white envelopes, right? It was not even a thing. My very first set of envelopes came from a subscriber. I did not have them. I just had these ones from the Dollar Tree. 100 of them cost you $1.25. So don't get caught up on, I got to have all the fancy smancy things, because that is not true. All right. So this budget sheet works very simple. I've talked about it before. I'm going to try to go over here real quick, just in case I have chats that I can't see, because I can't see anything other than my budget sheet right now, y'all. So I'm going to go to my channel and we're going to see. Okay, very good. Very nice. Okay, so in column A, this is where I put all the categories, or this is where the categories were when I pulled up this sheet. Now, their categories look way different than mine. I crafted them or customized them to my needs. So that's why my stuff looks a little bit different than what yours may look. Okay. So in column A, they're categories. In column B, that's where you budget what you're going to spend. Column C is attached to your tabs at the bottom. And every time you put in a bill or, took out some cash or whatever the case is, on each tab, it auto calculates column C for you. So you don't even have to calculate C. All you have to do is go in weekly and put in your expenditures, and it calculates that for you on its own. Now, I've shared this sheet multiple times with the understanding that it is not my sheet to own. I don't own it. I found it. There's a link for this in the description box of almost every video that I do, and you can just paste that URL into your browser and it should download for you. If it asks you to pay money, that's not the right sheet. I've never had to pay for this. And I make one sheet, and then I keep making a copy of my original sheet. So I always have an original, right? So I have an original, I make all my categories, then I make a copy so I can keep the original and pull that one up for next year. Okay. So in the top, let me see, 5 through 10, rows 5 through 10, that's where we're budgeting our income. Now, I never budget income, and here's why. I don't necessarily want to overspend in my budgeting column, thinking I have way more money than I do. But what I do is I put in all of my expenditures in column B, because I want to know what my bottom line is. How much money do I have to bring in for the month? Hey, y'all, good to see everybody. How much money do I need to bring in? And specifically for those folks who have variable income. You're not sure how much you're going to have this week versus next week. You might have a 3 paycheck month versus a 2 paycheck month. And then husband has his stuff is a little bit different. I'm once a month. You know what I'm saying? So I just need to know, what's my bottom line? What do I need to bring in so that I'm hitting all of my goals for the month? Now, a couple of things I like to play with. Savings is one of those. So one of the things I see that this is $4,352 that I have to bring in. I'm telling you right now, I do not bring that much money in, but I put savings in anyway. If I want a more true to form budget, I'll take my savings out. Now I'm at about $3,700. That's if I'm not going to save any money, typically I'm going to need about $3,700. So I'm not that far off with my budget and what usually comes in. But I'm going to be real bold this year and trust the Lord for my savings, because I've got goals. My goal is to save $15,000, and I'm going to save it as best as I know how. So I'm going to scroll back up and I'll show you what I have. Now, I don't budget any income, but I do put in my actual income. So my paycheck this month was $3,324.22. Now, before anybody come jumping through the phone, like, girl, you don't need to put your real numbers up here. First of all, two things. I pay all of my bills online, so all my money has been allocated to bills. I don't have any extra money over here, right? We don't keep money, large sums of money. We just don't. We put it in the bank, we pay the bills, and then that's done. The second thing is I don't have time to make up numbers. I'm actually doing my real budget. One of the key factors, somebody put this in the chat. One of the key factors to successful budgeting is to be honest with your numbers. Be honest with your numbers. Write down what you spend. And take them lumps when you realize you spend more at Starbucks than you do on regular groceries, or you shopping at Costco when you know you only got Food Line budget. Be honest with yourself. And when you consistently budget for, I would say 30, 60, 90 days, 3 months, 90 days, you're going to see your spending patterns and habits. Okay. You're going to see some habits there that you like, oh, wait a minute now, hold the heck up. What's going on here? If you want to get out of debt, define your why am I budgeting? And then live in the truth of that budget. Okay. I hope that explains it. Now, I'm going to take you into my expenses. They don't generally change. And then I'm going to pull some things off from here. Now, I have business income that comes from YouTube. But can I be very honest with you guys? It has been a very, very long time, even with 50,000 subscribers, that I have made over $500 a month. I don't know what everybody else is out here doing, and I'm working as hard as I can, but I'm telling you, I'm not making it. I don't know what I haven't done in the algorithm. When I look, out of 50,000 subscribers, only about 2,400 of my people actually watch my videos that are subscribed to the channel. About 20,000 people are just out here in the shorts feed. They're watching shorts. What that means is I'm not getting as many views. There were times when I was getting 100,000 views a week. 10 million views. I've gotten up over 10 million views now, but I'm not getting nearly as many. I would get 1 million views in a month. And it almost seems like little channels, for some reason, again, the algorithm is all doing its thing. Little channels are getting all the views, because I've been doing the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge, and I tag it Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. I might get 1,200, 1,500 views. I'll look at a smaller channel than I got. They got 10,000 views. What? So again, if you like the videos, share them. They do help me to just get out in the algorithm. My prayer is that the Lord would still bring the finances in that my children and I need. But because we don't have debt, we're able to work within the parameters of what I bring in. Okay, now I've shared all that for new folks and trying to explain budgeting. Now, my mortgage, which I pay online, I paid it today. My mortgage is $892.30. Before this year, last year, it was $976 and some change. So when I got the less mortgage, like by $100 and some dollars, the Lord was like, well, Shakima, you're already, well, it was about $80 less. God said, you're already used to paying $977. So I want you to bump your mortgage up to $1,000. March of 23, the Lord told me to bump my mortgage to $1,000 and put the extra to my principal. So that means that I'm going to pay at least one plus a few months mortgage, it's one mortgage plus a little bit extra on my mortgage for the year, which is going to take off several years worth of interest in the long run. Hey, ma'am. And so I just stayed consistent to that. Now, here's how I can do that. I don't need the extra money to go to a bill because I don't have any bills outside of utilities, water, internet, cell phone. That's really all I have. And because I use my cell phone and I use my internet and those types of things, I'm able to at least try to write them off at the end of the year for tax purposes. Now, I can't promise myself 100% that I'll be able to write all of it or any of it off. What I do keep is a expense report for the year for my business, and I will print that out and I will send it to my accountant because I have to have somebody do my taxes. It just helps me not to get all confusion because I ain't trying to go to jail or pay nobody no interest for missed payments. So I send her that, and she will determine based on her knowledge as an accountant what I can and can't write off. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So that's why my mortgage is $1,000. It is typically $892.30. So 70 cents. So I pay 30 cents. So I pay $107.70 extra to principal every month. Utilities, I'm taking off of that because I pay for that out of a separate fund now. And so is my internet. So this internet bill is going away. I'm taking that off because that comes out of my business account. Now, my cell phone, that's for myself and Jackson. It's $90. At one point, I was paying with Sprint $150 for my phone, just for mine. So, Bubba, check the suit. You can turn it off. So with Shamika got us on a family share plan. So it's her, myself, Jackson, Alana, and Trandon. And we're all on her share plan, which pushed our bills down. So it's about $46 for me and $48 for Jackson. So it ends up being about $90 for the cell phone bill, which I have paid. And I need to put that in. Now, I have some things that are sinking funds, and let me tell you just how things have changed. All of my sinking funds I used to pay with one platform that I used to get good payments from. That has almost gone, it has gone from like a lot to almost about 10% of what I used to make because they adopted the same rules. For about every 1,000 views you get on a reel, you make about 10 cents. I can look it up on my thing. I posted a reel yesterday. I think I made 22 cents. And that wasn't what it used to be like. So I used to pay sinking funds with my social media money. That wasn't my YouTube. That's my business. So I would pay social media funds with brand funding. That was my Shakima Wilson name, not brand funds. Those also count as business. And now those monies are not there. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to take my sinking funds now out of my paycheck again to make sure that I'm able to fund my sinking funds. It took me 10 years to be able to fund a sinking fund the first time. And I've been budgeting 13 years. So I've been sinking funds about 3 years. So it's not been easy over here. It's been Brenda and Bridget, if y'all don't get together in Jesus' name, and I mean in Jesus' name. Anybody want a dog? Okay. Because I'm about to give one away. All right. So sinking funds, until I have paid all of my regular household things that need to go out and I know what's left in my account, I don't sink my sinking funds. But I will be doing these. And now I'm going to have to determine which fund is most important. Household repairs. I have a friend, her name is Kathy. And when I first bought my home, she said, Shakima, you're going to need a household repair fund because stuff is going to break down. True to form, I have replaced my dishwasher twice. I've replaced my refrigerator. I've replaced the washer and the dryer. I've had some work done on the shower in the kids' bathroom. I've had some work done in the toilet in my bathroom. And things just happen. We painted. We bought flooring. There's just things that happen that you have to have money for. Now, if you big money grip and you got it like that, don't have a fund. I don't have it like that, Even though some people might think, oh, she hoity-toity, she got it. Oh no, babe, I just budget. I just budget for it. Yes, I do. Yes, and amen. Okay. So my household repair is a sinking fund at $50. Household miscellaneous items at current, I am not buying anything for my house. I haven't even been thrifting in months. Just this chair was the last thing I bought, and it's only because my original chair that I had, the spring broke, and we could not fix it. I think I paid $12 for this chair at a thrift store and living my best life. That's it. But I am not putting any money for household items. Come down the road after I save my $15,000, I may, but right now I cannot. I will have Mr. Jerome do work for me during these off months when he doesn't mow. I have a sink in the front yard because of that big tree that they took down. And when they ground the stump down, they didn't backfill the hole. They just ground the stump and it began to settle. And now I have a big kind of like a sink in my front yard, kind of two places. So Mr. Jerome is coming to fix that for me. And then my recycling renewal, my pest control, and my yearly spray is about $55 for all three of those things, which are sinking funds. If I scroll down further, I have two Roth IRAs, one with my work and one that's separate. I have to put money in that separate Roth IRA this year. I'm 4 years out from retirement, and I got to make sure that I'm getting money in there. My daughter thinks I should put $500 a month in there. I don't have $500 a month to put in there, but if my social medias were to take off, maybe that would be a thing. Right now, it's not a thing. But I am going to try to put a little bit there. Amazon Prime. Now, Amazon Prime is gifted to me each year by a friend of mine because I help her do some stuff. And she just wanted me to be gifted. And I appreciate that. However, I count on no person to pay anything for me. So every single month, I budget in the amount of money that I need to go into that fund to be able to pay for my renewal. To be able to pay for my renewal when it comes due in January. When it is due, I say to the person, it's renewal time. I can pay for it. I have the money saved. If they do not wish to pay for it any further, I have the money saved. If they do, I take the money that I have in that account and I reallocate it to a different sinking fund because I am in a situation where I'm not making as much on my one platform because that was outdoing YouTube by twice or three times as much. And now I don't even make $100. I think my last payment was $97 that I made from that platform. And I've made over $3,000 at a time or three. So I've got to reallocate funds. Okay. PureFlix is like Christian Netflix. It's $11. That comes due in May. So I need to know, make sure that I have enough for that. My Healthways gym is $29. And then Jackson's gym is $42. Now I pay a little bit more for Jackson because he is not eligible to get on the Activity Health that I have because he's not 18. When he turns 18, we will go down to $34 where he can go to any gym in their network, just like Sister. But they don't have that right now. And so the closest gym to us will let Jackson go. He gets the student discount at $42. And so I take that for what it is and I keep moving with my best life. Now, the only thing that I have to remember is he joined the gym in May and they had a waive the $100 joining fee back then. I don't know if that's a recurring renewal thing or if they just waive it and keep on moving because you're already in. So I have to be mindful of that. It would be an extra $100. Now, here's how Jackson works. Jackson's dad pays child support for him. Please like the video. If you haven't liked the video, that would be helpful. Jackson's dad pays child support for him. It is a set amount. It's been the same amount since Trandon was, Trandon was 17. I think we first started getting child support when Trandon was about 17. So he wasn't on child support long. And I was still taking child support to use for bills. Then Sister, so if Trandon was 17, Sister had to be about 12. And so she has now gotten off because she's 20. So she's been off for over a year, but the amount is still the same. Now we could go back in for a redo, whatever the case is, but I have a feeling that his income is a little bit different to the positive side, and he doesn't want to have to come up off of any money, which is perfectly fine. What he provides is sufficient with proper management. So I pay Jackson's bills up front, and then if I need to recoup money back, I'll just pull it from child support. So I pay his gym, and then when dad's money comes in, I can pay myself back or reallocate funds where we need it. Right now, we're in a huge savings challenge, and people will say, well, you're taking that money and you're not saving it for Jackson. I save separately for Jackson so that Jackson will be able to have money when he leaves. I take some of his child support, put it into a fund. It's not a ton, but I still save for him. I save for sister. I was not able to save for Trandon because I needed the money at the time to live. And Shamika was never on child support. She was already out of the house when we divorced. Okay, the next thing that I have are my federal and state income tax, which is a sinking fund. So from every brand deal, every video, YouTube, whatever, any type of one mom nest thing that I do, I take 15% out of that off the top. I put it into a fund for taxes. So I'm getting ready to provide my accountant with all my paperwork so she can file all of my taxes. And what I will do is if I owe anything, which I have for the last several years, because I don't count sister anymore, I will take the money from that account, put it into my main checking account, go online, use my debit card, and that money comes right out. I pay my accountant from that fee, from that account, and anything that I have left in that account will then be taken out and rolled into a sinking fund because I've already satisfied that year's worth of taxes. And I don't just want to keep money rolling in there. I just want to pull it out, put it in another sinking fund, which will be my 3 to 6 months. And then I start over with my tax money for the next time, for the next year. I have 12 months to save up enough. Okay. I feel like I'm taking a long time. I'm sorry, y'all. Homeschool, a high school curriculum, that's for Jackson. Jackson grows or is growing like weeds. I think Jackson has grown at least 5 to 7 inches in a year, and his feet have grown. And so he needs things. When dad used to send money, I would take $50 out every month so that by the end of the year, August, I would be able to get their homeschool curriculum. Well, now Jackson goes to public school, and he has for this last year and this half a year. I still take out the $50, but I put it into a high school fund. That means if he needs new tennis shoes, if he needs a new coat, he needs new shirts, he needs pants, he needs undies, he needs for all of his schooling things. He needs money for field trips. If he needs, equipment for soccer, I pull the money out of that fund. So again, what I'm saying is budget, and then you're able to cover the things. I've been trying to get a new camera for 9,432 years, and I don't have it yet, but I still put $20 into a sinking fund for it. Moving down to my groceries, y'all know how it is over here. We going old school. We're still doing the pantry challenge for the month of February, and I think we're going to do it right this time. So I took out $400 for my groceries, which is typically what I take out. But $300 of those dollars I already put into my $100 challenge envelope off the top. I only have $100. There's only 4 Wednesdays in February. So that's $25 a Wednesday. That's all I'm spending because I'm trying to use what I have in my fridges, freezers, pantries, and the garage. As we get done with all of those things, it'll probably be right around the time we get ready to leave for the wedding. When we come back, we'll do a huge shop and we will be restocked for all the things. Now, in the summer months, June and July that I don't work, I have to fund groceries. So what I do is I take $100 out of my regular grocery budget, which is about $600, $550, $600. So I take $100 out. I put that in a little envelope for summer groceries. And I just keep that here, right? So I keep that into this little envelope situation. And I just take out $100 for 10 months, which gives me $1,000, which means $500 a month. So $500 in June and $500 in July, and I break it down by the weeks. I have $100 a week to spend on groceries. We have monthly preps was $50. I've already spent that money. No eating out, even though it's my birthday. Usually my kids will take me out somewhere. So I don't plan any eating out money. Personal care, I am getting my hair done for my birthday. So I will need to go and pull money out for that. And then for Jackson to have a haircut. My P.O. box is a sinking fund. That actually comes out of a different fund. So I'm going to take that off. Well, okay, I'm going to leave it on for now because I got to make adjustments in my head. But that should be a business account. That should be a business fund. Moving down for travel and our vacation, we're going to California this year because Shamika's getting married. Now, we didn't do anything at Christmas. We didn't do anything for Thanksgiving because everybody is flying to California. We're all going cross country. The kids and I's tickets are paid. We're staying with Shamika. The only thing I have to do is rent a vehicle, but I do want to be able to take my kids out for a meal, right? I want to at least be able to buy a meal. Or if the two little kids want to do like a theme park and we have an extra day because we're staying one extra day, then I'll be able to have a few dollars to pay for that. I want to be able to take my son-in-law out to eat with everybody and that type of thing. So I'm still putting money in as I'm able to that account so that I'll have a little bit travel money when we go to California. Jackson gets $100 in his savings account. Again, that comes from Dad's child support. Gracie and Gwen have a sinking fund. Gracie was $40 forever. We now have Gwen. It cost me $83 just for their heartworm and flea and tick meds for the both of them. So I'm only actually $17 to the good. I've got to be able to find it cheaper somewhere else. But right now I buy it at the vet and it's $83 for both of them each month. So I've had to up that account. Moving down for gas, it's $200 a week. I could actually probably do less than that because my commute is shorter. And then sister is driving her car some days. On my shortest drive, we'll drive her car to work and then I'll take myself to work and then pick her back up. On my longest drive, I drive my car. So I could probably even back that down to like 160, but I just like to have extra just in case the gas prices go up. Oil change is a sinking fund. I put $20 in there. For my tires, because I had to get tires this year, $16. I put that over like a 24-month period. I get brand new tires when I get tires. I don't buy used, even though when I come in to ask for tires, they always ask me if I want used. There's a reason that I don't buy used tires. I'm a single woman. I have kids that I have to drive around. And to put my life, their life at risk on a used tire, while that may be somebody's way, it's not my way. It's not safe for me. It doesn't make me feel safe. Have we had used tires before? Yes. But I remember buying used tires one time and something happened. It was real bad. And I was like, you know what? Never again. So I just budget in for the tires, maintenance, upkeep, and all that. And that's in a fund. My license renewal, car insurance, and registration, I put $92 into my sinking fund for that. And then last but certainly not least, if I could figure out how to get this in at the top, I would put it there. My tithe and offering is $551 just for my regular church. And then I have another ministry that I support, and that is $276. And I'm trying to save $600, which is $150 a week. That gives me a grand total of needing $4,267 for the month. Thus far, I have $3,324.22 was my paycheck. I paid $1,000 to the mortgage. I just paid $90 to the cell phone bill. So what's today? Thursday. You see, cell phone. I paid that today. So that is paid. Now I put it on the tab. It should show up. What else do I have? I took out cash for Mr. Jerome because he just rolled up on me. I'm be at your house in the morning. Okay, Mr. Jerome could have gave me some warning, but nope. He old and he don't be giving no warning. So I took out cash for Mr. Jerome. Moving down, what else have I done? Grocery money has already been pulled. Summer groceries and preps. The hair care money, I'm going to pull that out next week. No, I have to pull that out tomorrow because my hair appointment is on Saturday. What else? Gas, I've already pulled out. I've already paid my tithe and my offering. That already goes, that goes via the internet. Now, I've already spent a total of $2,787. That leaves me with $537.22 to do the rest of the things. That's going to primarily be sinking funds outside of any other thing here that I have to do. So this $140 has to come out. So that's going to decrease that by, it'll be like 300 and some. I don't know that that will be enough to sink all my funds, but I'll do the best that I can. I already got the dogs their heartworm meds for this month, so I don't have to worry about the dogs right now, and everybody has food, so I may not fund the dogs this month. So I'll have to figure out where I can shift some things. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that screen. I'm going to come back and hang out with you guys. Hey, y'all. Good to see everybody. All right, let me see. Okay, now, the other thing that I did do, and again, like the video, if you're able to, it just helps us out, is I went ahead and stuffed all of my cash envelopes. So cash categories for me are groceries and gas. Groceries, gas, Mr. Jerome, and my hair. But I don't have my hair money out yet. I had some damage, so I went ahead and got a haircut just to try to get my hair back to a healthy state. I feel better now, and it is growing. So I am ready to start doing some more things to it now that I am I got all the damaged hair off. So I did stuff my grocery money, which we're taking it back to the $25 a week. That's all I have in these envelopes. And I have 4 weeks of $25. And so I've already pulled out those monies. I've done a reel on that. You should have seen that reel. I don't know if you did or not. I can't remember if I shared it on YouTube. I know I shared it on Facebook. And then I've pulled out the $50 for gas. Now, I generally put $40 in my car, and then I keep an extra $10 just in case. So I've already got my $50 out. I've already stuffed my summer grocery money. And what else did I stuff? I've already stuffed the $300 in my $100 savings challenge envelope, which is this one, $100 challenge. So far I have saved $1,000, and most of that came from grocery money. 2 months of low spend, January and February, I was able to pull out $600 to put into my envelope. Now, let me say this because I don't want anybody to get mad at Shakima or not understand my process. If your family needs groceries, don't pull your savings money out of your grocery account. I have extra groceries. I buy on sale, and normally with a coupon, if I would have had it, that equals free or close to free. I have at a very minimum 10 full chickens, whole chickens in my freezer. Every single week, my friend comes over and she has Saturday suppers with us. She brings 2 chickens. We eat one, and then the kids and I have another, and we eat that one throughout the week. She came over yesterday. She brought us, she only eats the breast meat. That's her preference. So she brought us the legs, the wings, and the thighs. People say, well, why you got to take food from somebody else? Because she wanted to give it to me. The kids and I are perfectly fine. I can buy food, but why would I turn down perfectly good food? I can remake it. I can, I just made chicken pot pie soup for tonight for dinner. So it's perfectly fine. But that helps me not have to buy as many groceries to use those types of things. Every so often she'll clean out her fridge and she'll say, hey, do you use this kind of salad dressing, or do you use this kind of whatever? I'm like, sure, we do. We use it. Jackson is growing. He eat everything. We take it and it's no problem. But if your family needs groceries, buy groceries. Just figure out something different. Get a day job. Do something, Uber Eats, little Grubhub, or whatever you can do, little Instacart, one or two shifts here and there to make the extra money for your family. My way of making extra money was social media, and it worked out for me over these past years. Again, we're in the stages of growing pains and working out new algorithms. But I have prayed over my household that the Lord would increase us. No matter what anybody else is doing out there, that's not my business. I'm concerned with what God got going over here at One Mom. So Lord, can you just increase the kids and I so that we will have what we need when we need it? And God has been faithful, always has been, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Whew, that was a lot, y'all, but that was all of it. Any questions? Y'all type a question down in there. If you haven't budgeted, start budgeting. Sit down, do the very best you can. What you keep? I just don't know where to start. Start with what you make and what you have to pay, and see if they balance with each other. I don't know what to do. My kids need this. Your kids do not need everything. They do not need everything. Listen to me. They just don't. They don't need Air Force Ones, honey. Get them some Air Force halves and call it a week. Now, when your kids are a little bit older, I get it. They want that stuff. But see, I employ and I invite all of the aunties because my ex-husband does not have siblings with his mom. I do not have siblings with my mom. So we don't technically have my children don't have aunts and uncles from our moms. Our dads have other children. However, my ex-husband has 3 aunts and they are lovely and they love my kids. So I'm always saying, hey, listen, when they send birthday money or whatever the case is, we can buy all the things that they want. I do my best to give them what I can. When they get their birthday money, they know exactly how to spend it. Now, Alana's already saving up for her spring shopping. I'm like, really, girl? Yes. Perfection. Gift cards. I'm glad you mentioned that, Miss Julia. We do keep gift cards on hand because you never know when you're going to need a handy dandy gift card. So people have sent gift cards or the kids get these are mostly Jackson's because he reads a lot. But Jackson forgets he has Barnes and Noble's gift cards or whatever else. I think we got out a Longhorn gift card for my birthday. No, it was for Christmas, but the kids are not going to use it for my birthday to go out and eat. And so we keep that because that saves us on having to overspend our budget. Sometimes you have to say no to you and all is well. It is okay. You're not always going to have to say no. I don't always have to say no now. I'm going to get my nails done. The person that I really like that does my nails, I could come out of that shop paying $150 and $60. The first time I heard that price, my eyeballs went like this. So what I do is I go to the Walmarts right up here where I live. I get a fill-in, and at worst, it costs me $30, and I leave a tip for the girl. Her husband used to be one of my former students. That's how I know them, and they do very good pedicure, so I go there for my pedicure. And I just one day was like, can you do my nails? And it's $30 at most, depending on what I get. Normally it's just this plain clear color, and it's not even that much. Do I like the $160 nails? That man spent 2 hours on my hands. Yes, I do. But I do not have to, it's not in my budget. It's not in the budget. So I have to understand that and be okay. One day it might be. This week it ain't. Because we trying to save over here, right? And then I might even ask my kids. I'll say, Mom, what do you want for your birthday? I just need my nails done. Anybody want to give a gift card for the nails? And they'll do that for me as well. I might see a nice, pretty dress I want. They'll say, Mom, what you want for Mother's Day? Well, I picked out a few dresses. Y'all figure out which one you want to get. And they do that for us. I'm sorry, somebody's texting me. Okay, sorry. That I had to respond to that very quickly. Okay. So that's it, y'all. You can do this. I believe in you. If you don't do anything different, you're going to have the same result in 24 as you have in 23. Jesus, the Lord spoke to me and he said, unpack your baggage. And some of us have to figure out why we spend the way we spend. There is a poverty mentality. There's a fear of not having it. There's a fear of not having what everybody else has. I want to be like the Joneses, whatever the case is. Unpack why you're that way and then adjust. I have looked more better. That's probably not even a word. I've looked better in thrift store clothing than I would have if I paid full price. And so what do? If I need something, I go to the thrift store. And people don't know it came from the thrift store unless I tell them. So for a season, thrift, for a season, just, the bare essentials, what you need until you get your family to the place where you want you to be. I'm a single mom. I'm struggling. My ex-husband don't pay child support. My ex-husband didn't pay child support in the beginning either. Tax season is here. If you're going to get a big amount of taxes, spread it out over the months. Pay what you need to pay. If you're behind on anything, great. Pay what you owe to get caught up. Then take the remaining. You can take 10% off the top and just say this is for our enjoyment. Take the rest of it, divide it by 12. Well, divide it by 10 now because we're in the second month. Divide it by 10. And whatever that number is, put that one into an account or envelopes and only spend it during that month. Don't get $6, $7, $8, $10, $12, $17,000 and go out here and buy crazy stuff. They're going to break it up anyway. Just don't do that. Pay your bills. Pay what you owe. Pay the people you borrowed from. Let me hold. Can I get $50? Can I get $50? Look, you don't borrow $50 from 4 people. Pay them people their money back. They might loan it to you again. Right? And then split it up per the month. And that's a little extra into your, monthly. I know that seems hard and it's tax money. I want to spend it where I want to. Do you need another 75-inch TV? Who watching TV these days anyway? We just using our cell phone. Move on. Okay. All right. I love y'all. I'm back live at 9 for the Love Dare, but I got to go eat dinner right now and go to the bathroom. Love all y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Like the video, subscribe, do all the things. If you need me, you know where to reach me. Just send me an email. I'm always happy to chat. Love you guys.